Hi guys, welcome back. In our previous video, we made changes to our registration route. In this video, we are going to make changes to on our login route based on the user input. Um, Either the user put in a username or a password, so we can log them in. So let's get started with it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to our controller. So let's do the validation first. So I'm going to have to do a validation for that. So I'm going to copy this and I'll create a class here, which is on validation. Yeah, and paste this. So what I'm going to do, remove this cons because it's a method. So static method. So I'm going to remove this and this. Yeah. So this is looking for JS docs. So I'm going to disable JS docs at least temporary for this file. Probably for the next video I'll re-enable it. So I'm going to add the JS docs, I believe, but for now I'm disabling it just to focus on the most important thing, which is the. So I'm going to do sign up, change this name to sign up, and in our route, so I'm going to make go to our routes. What is it? User validation. So this should be. Let me just say validation. Yeah, and in the validation, I'm going to the structure const validation. Yeah, and the validation I'm going to the structure. I think is check. What's the name again? Let's see. User sign up should be user sign up validation. Copy and paste. Yeah, nice. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create another method here. I'm going to create a new method in our validation. Um, for the login because we need to do another logic for login. So copy, paste, and change the name. This should be login. Yeah, and what we don't need, I don't need is email and password. So we are going to take in data as the new input field name. So we are taking the key name to be data now because it can either be email or password. So we are just saying data. I don't know any other name to give it. So data seems okay to me. So data, and I'm just going to remove one of these and change this to data. Okay. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to say I'm going to do if this is so I'm going to create a new variable here where we'll be storing the type of the type the type of input that is type of based on the type of data they input. So we're going to check for the type of if it's either a username or an email. So I'm going to create an empty variable with a variable just with empty that an empty variable. So I'm going to say if username. So if this data matches a username, if it is in a username format, yeah, so it's a username. So I'm going to set the type. Let me change this to let. Yeah, so I'm going to set the type to be type equals to this is a username. So string user name, yeah. And if this is an email, so it should be like an else if, yeah. So else if this is an email, set the type to be an email, yeah. So if it's an email, set the type to be equals to an email, yeah. And else if it's not any, should throw us an error. So I'm going to in our error input, I'm going to say error dot data because that's what we are calling the input type field. So error dot data equals to invalid or incorrect data. Yeah, let's just say incorrect data. Yeah. So and I'm going to check for the password. So I'm leaving the password this way too. So password is okay. So at this point now I'm going to return the data and the type. So I'm going to return data and type. Yeah. Okay. Now is why is this? Okay, this should be data. So once I save this now, error is gone, and this is okay. So what I'm actually doing here now, let me explain. I'm saying if the regex matches a username, yeah, you should set the type to be a username. If it matches an email, you should set the type to be an email. If it doesn't match anyone, that means these are what these are input is incorrect data. So is something not is incorrect. So we just have to return a message to them incorrect data and the password. So I'm in the route I'm going to import this what do we call it, user login, right? No, not yet. User login validation. And at this point, I'm going to put it here and user login validation. So let's see if it's working first. So what I'm going to do now is so our postman here, and I'm going to head over to our login route. So this should be data, yeah. So this should be data. Let's just not put any data there first. Let's see what happens when data is empty. Data incorrect. So data is incorrect data. I don't know if data has the right word for it there. But if you have a better name for it, do let me know. So put that in. Just let me know in the comment section so we might change that. And at this point, when I impute this is it said something went wrong. Okay, this is breaking because at this in our controller, because of the changes made in our response in our I'm going to explain that part. So at this point I believe it's working fine because it is no longer train an error for us. So let me see if it's not an valid email. What happens? Something went wrong. So something our app is not working as expected. Okay, incorrect data. Yeah. So this is a valid email. That's cool. I was not thinking properly. That's cool is a valid email format. So I think there's an extension called .co.me. So yeah, this is a valid email format. So if I use a single one there, incorrect data here. So so our validation is working fine here. So what I'm going to do now, why this app is breaking at this point, why this is saying something went wrong at this point, is because of um if I head over to our check. So this where is it? Check if email does not exist. So at this point, it's looking for this email and it's not seeing anything. So it's breaking and it's throwing this error for us. If I show you hyper email where params email has invalid undefined value, that's because of at this point it's looking for this key called email, and there's nothing like that again because we've made changes to our validation. So what we are going to be expecting is data and the type now. So I'm going to pass in data and type now. I'm going to say what we expect from them now is data and type. Yeah. So I'm now going to create an empty variable which is const. Let me say file. Let me say file which is equals to. So I'm going to say type is equals to, if type is equals to email or username. If type is equals to username, yeah, it should set username to be data. Yeah. Else set email to be data. Yeah, it makes more sense, right? So does I just name this file? Let me say I have pretty much blank on naming. So let's just say key. It doesn't make sense as key. Impute. Let me say impute. Um Seriously, I don't know what to name this. Let me just so I won't waste your time thinking of name. So I'm just going to pass this in here. So what this is doing, we are going to check. We are checking the type. If the type is username, yeah, it should create this empty. It should create this object with this key username and the data and set it to this and pass it and assign it to this input variable. If it's email, else if it's not username, that means it's an email. He has to um assign this email to this variable. So at this point, this is similar to just saying where username is username, where username is data. This is similar to just doing this. So, but based on we don't know if it's a username that's going to be passed in an email. So you just have to do it this way. So I'm going to pass in the input. Yeah. So oh, what did I do? Input. Yeah. So at this point, if I save this, pretty much okay. So let's check this out. And this shouldn't be email does not exist. This should be, let's say, user not found. Yeah. Makes more sense that way. User not found, because we don't want to say email does not exist because we don't know if it's an email or username. So say user not found. This should be data. User not found. I think it makes more sense this way. And okay, so let's test it out now. Let's test our endpoint now. So hit this endpoint. Say something went wrong. Let's see what happened. Let's see what the he said. Invalid value email. Yeah. So why is this? Let's see why this is. It says invalid. Okay, sorry. We don't need these extra curly braces here. That's my bad because I already put in curly braces here already, so we don't need an extra one there. So save this now. It should work fine now, I believe. And let's try this now. User not found. Yeah. When I put this user does not exist. Yeah. So this is working as expected. Incorrect password. There's a dominant user in our database. Yeah. And the password is password. Let's see. Okay. Remove the extra D, and successfully logged in. Awesome. So this user, I think this user, the previous the when we were creating this when we were making these changes to register, I think this user was signed up with this username underscore. So let's try this out now. Let's try this also. Let's see if I'm able to sign in with it. So whoa, so awesome. As you can see, it's working fine and it's working as expected. So I can sign in with either email, and I can also sign in with either username. So either option I want to use works out fine. And in the next video, we are just going to head straight to our clients. That's our UI, and start implementing our API for registration, for authentication. That's our registration and login. And at this point, I just have to stop this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any feedback for me, leave it in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Bye.